What's up, Buck? I'm Doug.
And I'm Eric.
And this is a Magnum 5.2 out of a 95 Dodge Dakota. We pulled it to do a carb swap on it and throw it in our 89 Dodge Dakota. This video is not going to be the usual because we didn't do a lot of narration during the process, but we had an away mission. We took our hoist, we went down South Jersey, we pulled it out of the truck with a fine fella named Paul. So yeah, man, here's the footage of that stuff, and we'll do a little narration in between, and at the end I'll explain what we're planning to do with this motor and how we're going to get it to run in that 89 Dodge Dakota. Yeah, man, here's the 1995 Dodge Dakota that we are pulling from. It's actually a really clean truck, very little rust. The problem was one of the freeze plugs on the 5.2, the one at the back of the motor, by the transmission was leaking. The motor had to be pulled to replace that, and the previous owner said that was too much work, more than the truck was worth, so we sent it on down the road to Paul, who was slowly parting it out. Previous owner's loss is our gain. This truck was running before we pulled it, so we didn't do a lot of the things you would normally do when dealing with an unknown engine. Now, I do have a video coming on how to figure out if an engine in the junkyard is worth pulling. But for this one, we just checked the fluids, barred it over a few times to make sure there wasn't any sticky spots or grindy spots or seized spots, and that was good enough for us, you know. So obviously Paul had most of the work done when we showed up. All we had to do was undo a couple bolts and jimmy jam that bad boy out of there. You see Paul with the gas axe busting through those dusty, rusty, crusty exhaust bolts, making light work of that. Additionally, we had to roll under there, undo the transmission, some linkage, and then this bad boy was going to come free. As you know, it's just a matter of finesse when you're trying to pull one of these things out, even in this state right here. No fenders, no grill, no radiator and all that. We had about as easy as possible. We were able to wrap some ratchet strap, double it up around the exhaust manifold, spread that weight over all 8 exhaust manifold bolts, which we felt was pretty darn good for jimmy jamming that bad boy out of there, sliding right out of a previous home. Like I said, just a matter of finesse, tweaking this here, lifting that there. I think the transmission was giving us some trouble. A little bit of real time. Got the transmission officially free under yonder, creating its own little environmental catastrophe. We got the hydraulic jockey up here, trying to see where we're still catching.
Yeah, we're catching over here. Might need to push the motor.
Whereabouts?
Oh, you're not.
Oh, seems to loosen it up real nice.
See how full extension's over here. See right here in this bolt?
Yeah. All right, pull back.
Oh god, this thing's a little heavy. Something's holding us.
Oh shoot, is there still linkage attached? The transmission?
Probably if you just shifted out of park.
Yeah, all the trans lines are still attached. Whoops. All right, we're gonna fix that and we'll get this motor. You call it a Jesus clip?
Yeah, because when you lose them, you go, Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a big motor, fully dressed with all the accessories on the front, which is over 500 pounds, plus that transmission. We're slanging a lot of weight around. It doesn't help that we're tool monkeys with toolboxes, but eventually, as you can see, we were able to get her out. With Paul's help right here, we're pulling the last motor mount that was in our way, hanging us up.
Wonder if there's enough room, we can push it over now.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yes, it's going down.
Hang on, there's a wire. Well, there was.
There was a wire.
There we go. Went to the oxygen system.
Yeah, you don't need those anyway. Nope, California bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, since we didn't leave the transmission in the truck before we put it down on that tire, we're going to pull as many of the trans bolts as we can so that bad boy will slip right out. Now, the transmission in my truck is an A500. That's in my 89. It's basically, for you Jeep guys, a 4.2 RE with less electronics. I believe this transmission was a 4.6 RE. Now, I could have kept it, and it would have been obviously stronger, but I'm going to risk it with the A500, and if that bad boy blows up, well, Paul, I'll be back down there for that 4.6 RE. Or, who knows, maybe we'll find a 5-speed somewhere, because that wouldn't be fun.
I'm tired. Getting there. You want me to get? No, it's just like midsummer.
I'm not really sure exactly what that meant, but I think I don't want you to explain it.
Oh yeah, it's going to go down. It's going forward as it comes down anyway, so good deal. Beautiful. You need any blocks of wood or whatever?
I think she's gonna settle in there.
You got more
nice.
straps?
I got a nice big strap for her. Okay. So, yeah, I see all these axe head around. I got a strange question for you. Got any crappy old axe heads you're looking to sell?
Any what?
Any crappy old axe heads you're looking to sell?
Why? What do you need them for?
My buddy and I are doing a. We're gonna hack them up into like Warhammer type thing.
Actually, got quite a few of them.
If you're looking to sell, I'm obviously not trying to spend a lot, but if you got something that's hooped beyond belief and you want a couple bucks for it, let me know. All right, we got this thing all nice and happy on the trailer, and Paul reminded me, hey buddy, I said I wanted that torque converter, so we had to kind of jimmy jam around on the trailer. Here's something interesting. The bolts holding it on were 14 mil, 9/16 did not fit. They were going to round it right out, which I found strange because this is kind of an old Mopar style motor. Everything else on there is standard, but 14 mil in the torque converter, just to keep it interesting. All right, we're all loaded up. Got our new hoist back in. We got a grill and side lights to fix. Where's the grill, buddy, in the Jeep?
Yep, taxi.
Got a grill to fix the unfortunate issue from episode 2 there. We got the old motor there. All tied in. Ready to go home. Got our parts. We took the 5.2 harness anyway. Maybe there's some parts there some of y'all can use. Check out when we're back up in North Jersey. Look at this guy's yard, man. Got a Dakota there with the drives. That's the one we just parted out. Got 40s parting out. Another one over there. This dude's living the dream, and I dig it. Just forgot. Threw in a nice axe for me. Axe head for a little project I'm planning with YJ Dave. That is very true. Me and my good buddy YJ Dave do have a custom axe competition going that I'm sure at some point will make an appearance on social media or the channel. That's a story for another day. What you're looking at here, the 5.2, made it to its new home nice and safe. The Patreon Puller engine hoist did amazing on its maiden voyage when we didn't lose it on the parkway. The 4.7 did great towing the whole shebang. There was one moment where we sent the ratchet strap into orbit. It seems to have rubbed free on the side of the trailer, made contact with that rear wheel spinning at about 60 miles an hour, and dipped if she didn't take off like a bat out of hell, but thankfully she did not locate any windshields, pedestrians, or passers-by, and Uncle Jerry has learned yet another lesson about properly tying things down and securing cargo. Thankfully, this lesson was only at the cost of a ratchet strap. We were able to get the engine off the trailer, we were able to get it off the driveway into the garage, where it will sit for many months as it transforms from a dirty old 5.2 into a beautiful, hopefully painted and running, carbureted 318 Mopar. Alright friends, there it is. Big shout out to Paul for helping us pull it out of his truck there. He could have very easily said, well, there's the truck, y'all get at it. We were able to jimmy jam her out of there. I think it's going to work real well for our purposes. We were able to bar it over. It's not stuck. He said he had it running. If you want to know, this is going in the Dakota, but it's not going in like this. This is multi-pore fuel injected. We're going to convert it to a carburetor. We got an Edelbrock intake coming that'll fit a carb on there, and it's going to be a real simple, down and dirty, old school 318 style truck. Alright, we got a big shout out, big thank you to our Patreons, without whom we would not have been able to afford this hoist, which we are dubbing the Patreon Puller. Literally, no cash in the reserve to buy the motor and the hoist. Without Patreon, we wouldn't have been able to do it, so thank you to our Patreon. Seriously, I'm not kidding. This would have been delayed another month for us to be able to get a motor for this thing. So we also were able to get the grill and a bunch of other little pieces here. If anybody needs any 5.2 multi-port fuel injection electrical stuff, let me know, because I don't need this harness, though I do have it. So some of that could potentially go out to people, including this kegger intake. I'm not using that at all. So let a brother know. If you got any questions, by all means, leave us a comment down in the squawk boxes. Let us know what you think about this idea. I got a lot of people asking me, why would you want to convert it to carburetor? You gotta ask, man, you just don't get it. Alright, it's gonna be a nice, fun, awesome, simple truck. We're gonna have hopefully a lot of fun with it, hopefully learn. There's gonna be a ton on this project. Obviously, we gotta strip this thing down, we're gonna clean it up. So if you haven't subscribed, you're gonna wanna subscribe. If you like the video, that's just common sense. Leave us a comment down in the squawk box. Consider checking us out on Patreon and Etsy. You got anything, big dog? Eric's tired out. I used every ounce of his energy. I had him. His nickname is the Hydraulic Draggy, and we used every ounce of that hydraulic energy.
You haven't pulling it uphill.
I had him pulling it uphill. I was directing. That's all there is to it, alright? Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.